Welcome to Esoterica the Podcast, the live stream. I'm the Mad Wanderer.
And I'm the Traveler Excessive. Or Traveler Excessive. It shouldn't be a the in there.
And we're here doing our normal Sunday night thing at our normal time because we don't have any guests tonight. So it's just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
And whoever's out there. So in not so exciting news, apparently I lost my facial hair somewhere along the line.
What'd you do? That reminds me of Tommy Boy. Anyways.
Well, I kind of made a vow to myself that I was not going to shave my or trim my beard until after we got out of lockdown. I went back to work, but I decided I wanted to see what I look like with just the chin part shaved, like a Lenny from Motorhead or a Charles Van Buren look. I liked it. I liked it, but I had such a negative response from the other people in my house.
Who's Charles Van Buren? I know Martin.
Martin? Oh, Charles Van Buren was. That was Martin Van Buren's brother.
Are you thinking of Chester A. Arthur, the 21st president?
I think I might have been conflating the two.
Conflating. It's like your word bifurcate. You like to use a lot.
I get certain words I like to take out on special occasions.
You do. They're big boy words.
Yeah.
Fourth grade words, I like to call them.
So I missed my beard already.
I am thinking you should take your cat, tape him to your face.
Yeah. I actually thought about getting a face mask and putting a picture of my beard on it and then wearing it. So.
Did you so I heard you had a slaughter in your backyard.
Oh my God. Yeah. So we were down at the cemetery yesterday taking care of the veterans' graves, as we do every year. And I get a phone call from my daughter, and she's screaming. She's, Dad, did you know there are dead bodies outside the house? I almost had a literal heart attack. And then I realized that she was screaming dead bunnies. So apparently something slaughtered a rabbit and stuffed it into. We have a wooden deck, and one of the boards is missing. That had been stuffed into that.
So are they still there?
Yeah. I touched it with the stick, and maggots poured out of its face, and I'm like, done.
Well, I was gonna say you could shave them and like back on your face.
Rabbit pelt on my face.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just glue it all back on.
Beard will be back to normal in like a week or two. So by the time I get out of lockdown, I should be back to where I was before I went. And it's like nothing ever happened.
It's like nothing ever happened.
Right? The spring that whatever was.
So we're doing our live stream. If you haven't noticed already that we have a new schedule now. So we do our Sunday night live stream. We do our Wednesday episodes. And on Fridays now, we have our Famous Folks series, which I just started with RJ Mitty from ABC's Breaking Bad last Friday. We'll have another episode coming out this Friday. So I just wanted to plug that because nobody's listening to it, and we want people to listen to it. Doing our live stream. If you haven't noticed already, we have a new schedule.
Oh my God, I hate
that's so funny that you're watching us from a distance. So please, if you haven't checked that out yet, check it out. RJ's a pretty cool guy. We listen to God Loves Ugly by Atmosphere. So yeah, dude, guys, people, dudettes, whoever you are, check it out.
Yeah, RJ is awesome. We learned about crawfish tables. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, and how much he likes black coffee and chicken salad sandwiches. So
yeah, if you ever watch Breaking Bad, it's Walt Jr. RJ's done a lot of other stuff too. He's
So speaking of that, you might not want to watch it unless you know who we got coming up. So Chris, who do we have coming up? We have Charles Baker, also from Breaking Bad, David Urey, Greg Proops from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Zach Avery, who's a up and coming actor.
Yeah,
a couple of movies out on Amazon now.
Yeah, we have a few more we haven't recorded yet. Who can we think of off the top of our head here?
We're talking to Colin Mockery.
Yeah.
Reed Ewing, which he played Dylan on Modern Family.
Yeah, so if you're a Modern Family fan,
If you got Netflix and you've seen the new Patton Oswalt stand-up special, he introduces this guy Bob Rubin. We're going to be talking to him on Friday, and Alexander Siddig, best known as Dr. Bashir on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah,
we're talking
so-
to him next week.
so that's in the works. We're working on that. Also, if you haven't looked at our website yet either, just because we want to give you guys the full detail of it all, we have T-shirts coming out soon. So certainly want to check that out. Those will probably be here in 2 weeks or so. So when those come out, you can go on the store, you can buy a T-shirt, or if you know us, shoot us a message. We can get it to you. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, gotten a couple of those already. I was going to tell people you got to go through the website, place your order, but
yeah, but you don't have to go through the website.
yeah, when it's mom, I'll make an exception.
Yeah. So we're still working on the price for those and stuff. We'll figure it out, and we'll tell everyone when that's coming out and stuff. But the store's already up, so you can check out our store. And we're still working on it, but we're gonna have a Patreon account soon. So if you want to support this, have us talk to more popular celebrities than who we've been talking to. Not that they're not cool people. Support us. We'll be making some more of that happen.
Yeah, it does cost money to produce this show. And the more money that Aaron and I are able to invest in this project, the better quality and the more content we can get out, which is the idea behind it. We're not, this is a hobby. We're not trying to get rich. But, we've got some great ideas for some stuff I think people will really like. And making that happen, we can use a little help with that. So we'll make it worth your while, right?
Yeah. We want to give you guys good content. So on the note of the Famous Folks series, a little bit of a teaser, I'll call it, on our next episode, and I'm not going to give away who it is until Wednesday, but on our next episode of Famous Folks, I do mention this band called Dead Poet Society, and they are from Boston, and I hadn't heard of them until I went on to Spotify, went on like Artists You Like and stuff like that. And these guys just came up and started listening to them. Like, dude, they are awesome. So we're going to listen to one of their songs tonight and do a little review of it because why not? So that way, when you go into this episode and I make that mention, no one's going to go, I don't know who these guys are.
What is he talking about?
So I will play one of the more popular songs, which I know goes against the show, but popular for an esoteric band. It's still esoteric. It's called Sound and Silence.
So is it a
I
song?
gotta catch my breath. Is it a song? What?
Well, is it sound or silence?
It's sound and silence.
Okay. That's cool.
All right. I'm gonna play that, and you're gonna have to. I'm gonna turn my camera off because it stays on my face, and I don't need anyone to like sit here looking at me going like that. All right. So you're just gonna see my name in a few seconds. I gotta pull it up. Chris, feel free to talk for a second.
I was going to say, does that mean I need to be quiet while it's playing so it doesn't switch to my face going?
No, it should be fine. Just don't be loud. I typed your name into Spotify and not the band looking up today.
I have no content on Spotify as of right now.
I do.
That might change, depending on how much longer I'm stuck in my house.
All right. Sound and Silence. Let me just turn it down so I don't blow your ears out. And let me shut my camera off. All righty, here we go. One more dead in the arms of a superpower. Go to be made, no, the world ain't gonna hear about it. Trust is by my smile on a pretty face. Nothing for a name, dead, rotten shame to waste. Let the western waters guide me blind. Give me something real, something to make right.
girls drunken on the steps. This far the bombs will open. Run the tail into the echo of a modern eye. Smoke from the sides come running from the wildfire. So let the western border guide me blind. If there's something real, let's go.
All right.
Yeah. So that was Dead Poet Society, Sound and Silence. So first thing I want to say about it is that I really enjoy the cross genre kind of thing they got going on. Like there's a little bit of this R&B hip hop kind of thing going on in the verse lyrics, as far as the melody goes, and then it just goes into straight, rock heavy sort of thing. But
You reminded me of something like another band, and I can't. I've been sitting here trying to put my finger on it, and I am unable to do so.
I know I've heard somebody listen to a band that sounds a lot like them, but I can't remember exactly who they are.
We presuming they take their name from the movie of the same name.
Believe so. I that would make sense. If not the movie, I think there is a legit Dead Poet Society of some sorts.
Of dead poets.
Yeah, like they're not. I don't know. I feel like a graveyard where a bunch of dead poets are buried would be the Dead Poet Society.
That works. Hey, Joe.
It's ooh, hello. It's a lot like up in what is it, Acton or whatever. They have the graveyard, Sleepy Hollow, with Arthur's Ridge, when they have all the authors buried. You know what I mean?
Here. So not bad. That was interesting.
Mm-hmm. So if you listen to our episode on Friday with the person we won't announce until Wednesday, I'll mention that song, and now you've heard it. If you've been here the whole time,
You got a little Easter egg.
A little Easter egg. I threw it at you like it's like we're teenage kids on Halloween.
So
just take it away.
It's a special weekend this weekend. Well, normally it's a special weekend. This weekend, it's the unofficial start of summer, and it's Memorial Day weekend. And what do we do on Memorial Day, Aaron?
We remember those who died in wars and things, battles and military. Define it better, because I just offended all veterans.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing: there are 3 holidays in America for the armed forces. There's Armed Forces Day, which is when we recognize active duty military. There's Veterans Day, which is on November 11th, used to be known as Armistice Day because it's the day that World War I ended. And that is the holiday where we celebrate veterans. We recognize veterans, whether they are living or dead. Anybody who was served active duty during wartime. And then Memorial Day is specifically for those who were killed in the line of duty or have died since serving. So, of course, at all times and in all places, we should be thankful for the men and women that put their lives on the line for their country. But this particular weekend or this particular day is specifically set out for those who have passed. Fighting the many, many, many conflicts that the United States has found itself embroiled in over its rich history.
So, given the nature of this show, where we try to look at the offbeat, unusual, out of print kind of things, we thought it might be appropriate for tomorrow being what tomorrow is, Memorial Day, looking back and seeing the conflicts that we've been through that might be, lesser known, and people might not think about remembering those people. We're supposed to remember everybody, but a lot of people think about World War II or the Civil War or Vietnam or even World War I, where there were just mass casualties, but we don't think about the other things and the other people a lot of the time. And I want to shed some light on that.
Did you know that in 1835, the states of Michigan and Ohio went to war with each other?
I did not.
There was a boundary dispute between Ohio and Michigan. Was a territory at the time, and I think it was them becoming a state, which led to the conflict. No one was actually killed, although there was a stabbing when some people were arrested, which led to some bloodshed. But this battle went on for a year, and it's actually called the Toledo War.
Straight up war. Okay.
Yeah, between states over just a little strip of land. Ohio ended up gaining control of the Toledo Strip, and Michigan gained the Upper Peninsula. And that's how that went.
It's other than the Civil War, it's weird thinking about states just straight up fighting each other.
I know.
Like, imagine if we were like, we're just taking Rhode Island because they're like not big enough.
I don't think they go. Rhode Island, for a very small state, they're tenacious. They were the first ones to declare their independence from the British Crown, long before Massachusetts got itself all riled up.
Yeah, but that was then. This is now.
Yeah. So, what other crazy conflicts have there been that we don't talk that much about?
Well, I think the primary basis I had for this was like the War of 1812. Like, nobody knows what that is.
What is the War of 1812?
Yeah, from what I understand and what it's been billed as to me, is it's the second revolution, because they burned the White House down. Like, they went all out. These British. And I mean, I don't understand how it started or anything like that, but I'm sure plenty of people passed away in that. And that one guy from our town that probably died, and we just don't think about, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's see. War of 1812 was fought between 1812 and 1815. It was a conflict between the United States and the United Kingdom. Historians in Britain often see it as a minor part of the Napoleonic Wars, while historians in the United States see it as its own separate conflict. So let's see. There's a lot to say about this particular war.
Which I think is my point. There's a lot to say, but we don't say it.
Yeah, let's see. There were between 2,200 and 3,721 killed in action, with 4,500 wounded. I think that was on the American side. The British lost approximately 1,900 killed in action.
So significantly less.
Well, a superior fighting force.
Yeah.
Crazy. So going back through history,
yeah.
There was Aaron and I watched a series on America and war. a while ago, a number of months ago. And the series started with the American Revolutionary War, which I would argue was not an American conflict because there was no America yet. That was the war that, made us America, but it wasn't an American conflict, if you know what I mean.
And even to that point, somebody could say, well, we've declared our independence. Literally not until a year in did we declare our independence. So yeah.
So one of the I'm looking through a list of American conflicts. There's Shays Rebellion, which was fought from 1786 to 1787 in Western Massachusetts. It was an armed uprising in opposition to a debt crisis among the citizens, and the state's government's increased efforts to collect taxes, which, if you think about it, we had just gone to war and separated ourselves from England over taxes. And, it felt like the same thing was happening again. The result was the rebellion was crushed, and problems of federal authority linked to the Articles of Confederation spurred a United States Constitutional Convention. There were six. All right, so there are two sides of the conflict, right? There's the anti-government protesters, and there's the United States. So 6 protesters were killed, and 3 soldiers, I guess, were killed. So it was a small war. Shays Rebellion. And then there was a whiskey rebellion in Western Pennsylvania in 1791. The U.S. won that. Big surprise. What are they fighting about? They were fighting about whiskey? Tax.
I learned about this in school, but I can't. It's a lot of it's taxes.
Yeah, tax.
Especially early on. I mean, like you get into whatever you want to get into recently, and it's completely different. Terrorism.
Now, in 1798, there was the Quasi-War, which I don't think we should consider a war just by its name. It was quasi. Right? First Barbary War, German Coast Uprising. There were an awful lot of conflicts that we fought against the Native Americans. That makes up about probably close to 50% of our history of armed conflicts in this country.
And I think we can agree that we probably shouldn't be happy about winning most of them, but we did.
No, unless, you like obliterating an entire race of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of these conflicts were also part of American imperialism, taking over of territories in the Pacific and the Mediterranean area. There's the Texas Revolution. Of course, we all know about the Texas Revolution, right? The Alamo.
Oh, yes.
Let's see. Second Sumatran expedition, Ivory Coast expedition, Mexican-American War in 1846. They finally gave up Texas. Bleeding Kansas, which was an anti-slavery battle as Kansas was working to get admitted into the free states. That was a precursor to the Civil War. Rogue River Wars, Third Seminole. Yeah, there's a lot of conflicts with the Native Americans. John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry. That's a pre-Civil War conflict. Dakota War, the Snake War. That sounds cool.
Like Mr. Manley just popped in a little song that we might want to take a listen to.
The Decemberists. This is why we fight. Ooh. It's not hard to come up with a reason to fight. I think that's a good takeaway. Buffalo Hunters War, Nez Perez, Cheyenne, Victorios, Pine Ridge Campaign. And then, all right, and you get into the 20th century, we start our conflicts with Nicaragua and Cuba.
Well, I think before we just get into this whole thing where we're just naming off everything Wikipedia has to say about battles, I think we should emphasize the point, and that's that even that's just before the 20th century. We just mentioned of so many different conflicts where people just died, and we don't acknowledge them. We think about the big ones, but there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
And back to my 1812 example, like our national anthem was written in the War of 1812, and we don't even bother to think about it for 1 second. So, we should think about these other things. Why Texas is a part of the United States. This is why we have tacos. Like, come on,
Yeah, and there's always when I think is interesting when you learn about these conflicts is there's always so much going on in the background. Everybody knows the Civil War was fought for to end slavery, but there was a lot more going on. It wasn't just about that. World War One, World War Two, like we were dragged into those conflicts kicking and screaming. America didn't want to be. We tried to sit out World War One altogether, but that didn't end up working well for us.
So on your Memorial Day this weekend, it's tomorrow, keep in mind every single person. I'm not asking you to go to Wikipedia and look up everybody like we did, but think about it. I read something that I lost my train of thought.
I'm going to do this because I can't help but do this. We are going through an interesting and difficult and somewhat painful time right now during the current pandemic. A lot of people are upset about what they see as their civil liberties being curtailed, as they're just asked, to not be douchebags and to do stuff for other people and be a little selfless. I think Memorial Day is a good time to take a moment and think about Americans, men and women, who lay down their life, sometimes defending this country, sometimes only defending this country's interests. And they did it willingly. Some people were drafted, other people signed up. All that we are being asked to do is wear a friggin' mask on our face and avoid close contact with people when it's not necessary. So I don't think that small sacrifice is a lot to be asked when other people have made the ultimate. And I say that now because tomorrow is typically, instead of going, we celebrate Memorial Day generally by shooting off fireworks and having cookouts and pool parties. So just think of that when you're inviting your neighbors over. Let's follow the guidelines and be good stewards of our fellow Americans this year. I'll get off my soapbox.
Well, with that being said, we wanted to wrap up a little early because it's the unofficial start to summer. It's still light out, at least where I am. And,
my sister-in-law is here. Hi, Katie.
So, yeah, like I said in the beginning of this, if you didn't catch it, we have a new schedule, new series, Famous Folks, out on Fridays. You can check out. We just talked to RJ Mitty from AMC's Breaking Bad, and we'll have a new one coming out this Friday. You can check out. We played the song earlier, so if you missed it, you can go play. Go back and listen to a song that'll be mentioned in that Friday's episode. This Wednesday, though, we will be interviewing on our episode Jake Morse on his 2016 release Untainted, which is nowhere to be found, but where we put it in Internet Archive. He asked everyone not to listen to it, his new stuff. But if you really want to, it's on Internet Archive. It's on esotericathepodcast.com. You can find it there. Also on our website, you can find blog posts for all our episodes, links to all our episodes, our YouTube content, anything you can think of that we do. Our new merch store, which when we have shirts will be out, will be on there, and our Patreon page when we finally figure out how that works. So, yay. Did I miss anything? Social media, follow us, do things, please help. We want to provide.
We had a great episode last week. We interviewed Homer Flynn from The Residents, and that is both up on YouTube and on the website as well. And
I think we've covered most of it that we have.
Yeah. And as a reminder, so we should mention too, we just started our own subreddit on Reddit. So if you're looking for a place to interact with us, we've got information about all our previous shows. and it allows people to comment on that. Also, if anybody has any suggestions on obscure albums, movies, books that you think we would enjoy covering, that's a good place to post that information. One of the things that we're looking to do, and one of the reasons we're launching a Patreon, is to pump out additional content. There's stuff that we want to cover that might not be best suited for a full episode of a podcast. There are other ways to do that, so we're looking to get more content out to people. So.
And last thing I'll say, since, ideas for live streams after playing out episodes and famous folks things throughout the week, sometimes they're difficult to come by ideas. So if you have an idea that you want to have talk to us about, come on a live stream with us. You're more than welcome to do that. Just shoot us a line. We'll figure something out if you have an idea. We'd love to do it. Or if you just want to come on and talk about some stuff, we can find something. It'll be a good time. Help us.
We're here every Sunday night, and our episodes are scripted. Like we prepare for those. We know what we're doing. We got a pretty good thing going on. But our Sunday nights, as you can see, when it's the two of us by ourselves, we're not always as prepared as we should be. It's good to have a guest when you're doing a live stream. So we would welcome that.
Well, with that being said, check us out this Wednesday at our regular episode. We'll be out at midnight, Untainted with Jake Morse. And Friday, check out our Famous Folks series, and we'll announce who that'll be on Wednesday. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on here next Sunday.
Stay esoteric, y'all.